You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room, where we talk all things Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. This is episode number 116, where we're discussing our prelude to Avengers Infinity War. I'm your host, Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay. It's about time, boys. We've got 2 sleeps. Yes. 0 sleeps as this podcast drops, but it's almost here, guys. We're finally back at the table together to discuss Avengers Infinity War. Now, huge caveat on this episode. I'm going to put a spoiler banner up here. We're going to be discussing some of our speculation going into Infinity War, our final speculation. We've been doing this for what seems like 18 months, a year and a half since we started the retrospective. But this is where we're going to lay down our final predictions, talk about some of the comic book influences on the movie itself. But again, the caveat that I want to put on here, we have not been spoiled by any reviews or any big reveals. Nothing has hit our eyes. We're going dark on Twitter, or at least I am, to avoid the spoilers. And so anything you guys hear here is pre-speculation. We're recording on Tuesday, so still a couple days away from the premiere. But I just wanted to put that out there. We're not intentionally spoiling anything for this movie. It's all speculation.
Do you think we'll see Thanos?
Possibly. I bought a box of cereal the other day with him on it. Now, Troy.
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to hearing all about your trip to Disneyland. And this is going to be within our week in Nerd. But you just laid on us, man. I'm looking forward. I saw some of the pictures. I know you went on Guardians. You met up with Vader, Spider-Man. Yeah. You did it all. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man, Disneyland is dope. Love that place, man. Such a good time. The impact and influence of what Star Wars has and Marvel over there is like nothing I've ever seen before. You know, I went there with my wife and my kid and the in-laws as well, and just see my in-laws as well, like learning about the Guardians and seeing Spider-Man. When my daughter met Spider-Man, because you have to wait in line to do these things, she met Spider-Man, and just as we were getting out, this huge like theme song came across the board. There was like an army marching down, and we see Black Panther on a tank, and he's coming through, and from across the distance, and then Spider-Man's like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" Like in that cool like Tom Holland voice, because these guys are in character, man. And T'Challa just like ignores him, and he's just on this mission. He just drives throughout this crowd, and I was just like, "Whoa, like where am I?" And like just to see the influence of everybody just being like in awe over Black Panther there, it's crazy. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride is probably my favorite.
Yeah, is it that good?
It's so good. You know, I did the Tower of Terror back in 2011.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's kind of the same idea, but just like the interaction, you see Groot outside, and you see Gamora, and you see Star-Lord, and everybody's outside doing their thing, and then you just get into the collector's vault. You can see all these little cool like Easter eggs throughout the building, and Rocket Raccoon's out there just playing along with the crowd, and it's so cool. Like after that, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. I was just like, man, like I love Guardians. Like these guys are great. So it's just a good time, man. I saw Vader, and I was intimidated, man. Like he's interrogating me for a minute, and I totally like wasn't listening to him. So I asked him to repeat himself, you know, because I was intimidated by this guy. He's huge, and got a picture with Vader, which is just great. So much fun, you know. And Solo, man, I got my hands on a Han Solo figure, which was cool, but that was in Target. So I guess I missed the Lando wave, because Lando was like hard to find, and then I missed the repacks of Han Solo in the Disney, is it Star Tours over there?
Yeah.
So they have like a store. So when you do the Star Tours ride, as you exit out, they have like a huge like Disney store kind of thing going on in there. And as we got there, I saw, what was the figure? I saw he's part of the 40th wave, and it's like the black suited...
The Death Squad commander?
No, it's just like one of the regular general guys. You know, it's like the big like Vader helmet kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the Death Squad commander.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah.
So he's packed with the Solo wave,
yeah, they repacked him and the Jawa, I think.
Exactly. So I saw those guys floating around. So it's like, oh shoot, like Han must be out and Lando must be out. And I went to the till, I was like, do you guys have Lando?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we just stacked everything this morning. This is all that's left. And I was like, oh my God. And there's a bunch of Rose as well. Like Rose is just chilling on that shelf. But I picked up actually that cool 3 3/4 Ray that you have on your shelf over there. I picked that up for my daughter, actually. I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just get her into some of these for the meantime.
Nice.
So I picked up one of those, which is really cool, and she loves it. She's bent the lightsaber already, so that's
She'll learn.
She'll learn. But man, all around, just a great trip. So much fun.
That's awesome, man. Like, I was just down in Disney World, and I was so jealous seeing your pictures. And I, like, 1 week removed, I'm like, I want to be back there. And it seems like Disneyland has much more of a Marvel influence than Disney World, because I saw almost nothing Marvel related other than one store.
Well, yeah, because Disneyland there was very Star Wars like, but then when you go to California Adventure, that's when it's all Marvel. And I guess like the Pixar side, they're closing it down soon and putting in like a Marvel land.
Awesome.
Really?
Which is crazy. So there's gonna be a bigger influence of Marvel and obviously Star Wars. The cool thing too is when you go on the Star Tours ride, it's like this big VR kind of experience, but it's like a theater ride. But at the end, you land on this planet, which is Galaxy's Edge, and it's like it's just getting, what is it? I think C-3PO is like the journey's just beginning.
Yes,
and I like blew my mind as elbowing my wife, like I know what that is. I know what that is. You know?
I did the same thing when I was in Star Tours. I was like, oh, this is Galaxy's Edge. This is incredible.
So cool. And then it's always a different video each time. You go on that ride like 4 times, and it's always something different.
Yeah,
cool.
I went twice, and it was different both times.
So good, man. So good. And you know, the trip was great, but I gotta say, I don't want to put any shade against DC. I really don't. But just being there, seeing like the Guardians and seeing like the influence of what these characters are doing with Marvel, I was like, wow, DC, like they have a long ways to go. And it's unfortunate because it's like we're outside of the film division, but just seeing like the Guardians, really, like these people there are just like way bigger than like the DC heroes. Like I don't know why it crossed my mind, but it's just like blown away to see like just like my father-in-law like interacting with these characters, and I was like, this is crazy. It's crazy, but man.
Well, I guess we know what that means. Callaway Park has got to be owned by DC now, and then they'll like represent.
Oh man, like a Lobo ride or something.
That's absolutely incredible, man. That Guardians ride again. It's not in Disney World. They've only done it in California Adventures Land.
Yeah.
And I was with your wife at the zoo the other day.
Yeah.
And with my wife and my kids and stuff, so just the two of us. And she's telling me all about it. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to talk to Troy about this. That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh,
gotta love what Disney's doing. And man, like this week, it's been overwhelming for me almost when we're talking about our week in nerd here, is that I've got solo stuff in my periphery, but also this huge focus on Avengers Infinity War. I watched the red carpet last night, and I'm just consumed by the MCU at this point. And hearing you talk about what they're doing down there gets me even more amped up for what's coming for both of these franchises. I was able to get my hands on a couple Funko Pops, the Range Trooper and Empty's Nest. So those are my first 2 solo pulls of merchandise. Still nothing. I've still not seen anything up here as far as Black Series 3 3/4 inch. Nothing.
No,
really?
I've even seen they've pushed a new Marvel Legends line with that whole like Carnage, Venom, couple, you know, and like Gwenpool, but they haven't pushed anything for Hasbro on the Black Series.
No,
stuff, which is
kind of strange. And really I went into the Disney store too, 2 weekends in a row, and I asked 2 different people. I said, "Look, are you guys getting Elite Series in for solo?" And they said they're not 100%, but they think they're coming.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird that they didn't drop on that solo Friday. Like it was kind of the drop date for everything.
Right.
And Disney Store, there's only this one small little rack for solo. Almost no merchandise. And we're about a month out from the film, which is kind of strange.
Crazy. What about for the Funkos? I know you got these 2 here, but has there been like a Lando? Has there been a Han?
Oh yeah, I've seen all of them. I just picked up these 2. There's a really cool actually Lando Hot Topic exclusive. He's wearing like a yellow jacket with this like polka dot shirt, looking pretty badass.
Nice.
So probably gonna grab that. I've seen almost all of them with the exception of the Mud Trooper. But EB Games was fully stocked with them. Hot Topic, so they're pretty flush. Even EB Games, I saw there's like this card game, solo card game.
Oh, okay.
It was there as well. And the vintage series, the spring release of the new vintage collection, 3 3/4 inch.
Oh, right.
They're starting to drop as well. Some EB Games. Didn't pick any of them up.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of a pick and choose line and hunting down that Afra, but no luck there.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Does that worry you guys? I mean, solos, you said a month away. We've seen like almost nothing. And you look at something like Infinity War, there was tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Months before. Is that, you know, you hear the rumors online, like people are like, oh, I don't know. Like, does that kind of worry you that maybe Disney is kind of a little reserved in their marketing?
I wouldn't say that it worries me about the movie, because everything I've seen, now I haven't watched any TV spots other than that, it looks really good. Like, it looks fantastic. It's going to hit the mark. But maybe they've pulled back a little bit because of the way The Last Jedi toys are received. we're getting to the point where we're almost at saturation. Like, you look at the shelves, there's still lingering Rogue One stuff. There's a ton of Last Jedi stuff on the shelves that they're trying to move out, and then they're trying to fill this little corridor with Solo merchandise. So I don't know if it's because it's one of these Star Wars story films that they haven't hit as hard as they do with the saga films. But then, looking back at Rogue One, they hit pretty hard with that. They had a Fourth Friday. They did the whole normal release as far as 3 3/4-inch Black Series. The Elite Series all dropped. They had special things at the Disney Store and all that. This seems much more reserved. Now, why that is, I'm not sure. Because it seems like they've had this date set, this May 25th, which Sunjay's, as you've told us, you've got your costume. It's lined up.
I do, yeah. It's all lined up, so you guys can see pictures of that. We're going to go see the movie together, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're all going to dress up, right?
No, I think you're on your own on that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Our tweet got about 70 likes.
That's still better than average.
But anyways, it comes out on the 25th. It's always been coming out on the 25th. So Hasbro and whomever else, Funko, have all had this same amount of time to produce these toys. It's not like they moved it up on them and they had to jam everything out in 6 months. This has been the release date for the better part of a year. We've been banging on, like, let's get this to December. Not happening. And some of that might have been the merchandise release window, that all these companies had all this merchandise lined up to drop on a certain date in preparation for this film. It gets their second quarter results up for Hasbro, for, well, not Toys R Us anymore, but it seems like that was one of the driving forces potentially behind that. But that really doesn't seem to be like it was an actual thing, because we're not seeing much of the Solo merchandise, which is fine. I'm happy to focus on Infinity War for the next couple of weeks, and then reshift my focus over to Solo once we get off the back end of that, and I kind of calm down from seeing that film several times.
Well, do you think that's what it could be, is the fact that we have Infinity War being pumped out right now, that they're kind of like pumping the brakes on the Solo toys because they're both from Hasbro? Like,
maybe that
makes
makes
that have any play with it?
But that's never really stopped them in the past, right? Like, you've had the overlap of Star Wars and Black Panther to a degree.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you had Thor Ragnarok in November, Star Wars in December, and then Black Panther in February.
Yeah.
So they kind of smushed in between.
That's true, yeah.
So they're very much overlapping crowds. Like, you look at the Venn diagram, it's probably almost on top of each other, the two circles.
Yeah.
But I just, the collectors might be a bit divergent from each other. I don't know if a lot of people are like you and I, Troy, that collect both Star Wars and Marvel.
That's right.
To the degree that we do. Maybe people are a bit more focused and a bit more rational and reasonable.
One or the other. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really worry me at all. It just disappoints me more that it's not getting the hype that I'm taking away from the trailers.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like more people should be talking about this, and we should be seeing that merchandise. And maybe it will happen. Maybe they are waiting for Infinity War to move slightly out of the way, and it's okay, now it's Solo's turn. It's May. Now let's get at this. Let's push Deadpool away and get Solo and Infinity War going at the same time.
I hope so, because I gotta get my hands on that Lando. I got the Solo, and the Solo's dope. He's pretty cool. He has a pretty similar body mold to your original and the 40th anniversary Harrison Ford Han Solo. So it's pretty much similar. But man, these face apps are looking incredible. Like, it looks like Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah,
looks just like him, man. It's incredible.
Nice.
Sick.
Yeah.
Now, Sunjay, how was your weekend, nerd man? Any comics? Any collecting? Any films?
Yeah, I picked up some films. But the big thing was Action Comics 1000.
Yes.
Oh.
I understand you both picked it up.
I did.
So would you say it is your favorite Superman comic of all time?
I would have to say it is probably the only Superman comic I own. No, I was really excited to go get this. We had some debate going back and forth online with the guys over at Tommy Saber and that about which cover to get. Now, I went in wanting I think it was the 40s, or I think it was with the
the
Superman,
40s, like the buy war bonds.
It was the one with the car over his head.
Oh, the classic.
The original.
The car.
The original Action Comics #1. Couldn't find it. I saw the 50s with the little aliens. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool.
I like that one, yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I said to myself, do I want a variant cover on this? Because I don't have that connection. I just went with the regular cover for Action Comics 1000. I've yet to crack it open, though.
That's all right. You still gave him your money?
I did, indeed. I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive or 80 pages long.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I promise I will read it.
It's pretty good because it's just a bunch of short stories. So there's maybe like 7 or 8 of them in there. Some of them are only like 4 pages long. So it is not bad if you have like 5 minutes just to pick up, read one short story. And then the last one is the new story by Brian Michael Bendis and his Superman run. So it's the first like maybe like 5 pages on that.
It's like a backdoor pilot to
Yeah,
Bendis' run on Superman.
exactly. And it's pretty interesting. It's got me intrigued. Hopefully you guys both enjoy it. Some of the stories though are so emotional. Like one was just like heart-wrenching. Like, wow, that's a great story. I think it's written by Tom King, who does Batman. He's such a good writer.
And I like when he writes Superman. He's been there quite a bit on this Batman run.
Yeah. He has a fantastic story. It's one of those short ones. It's maybe like 5-6 pages, but it's my favorite one. It's so heart touching. I was like, wow.
So is Bendis going to be doing Superman or Action Comics?
So what I know is that in May 30th, I think he's doing a 6-issue weekly series. So there'll be no more Action Comics or Superman for like 6 weeks. I think it's called Man of Steel. So it'll be 6 issues. And then after that, I think it'll spin off. And I think he's just doing Superman.
Nice.
And someone else is coming on Action Comics.
That's cool. Because I stopped at Superman around, I don't know, issue 20 or 30 or something like that. So that'd be nice to pick up when Bendis comes back.
Yeah, I never know which one to get, Action Comics or Superman. Like, they're both Superman-esque, but, like, do you get, like, for Spider-Man, I don't really know if Marvel has this, but, like, with DC, it's like Detective Comics or Batman. Which one do you get? Superman or Action Comics? And I'm sure Spider-Man has a ton.
Yeah, Spectacular. So there's Spider-Man, there's Amazing Spider-Man, which is like the main one, and the Spectacular is more like the Peter Parker life.
Oh, okay.
Action Comics is, I think it's more action, but then if you do Superman, you get more like Lois and his son going on right now too, like John Kent.
Is it like a continuous story? Like, do they run parallel to each other?
No,
they
really.
crossed over sometimes, like when they had that whole identity thing going on back with the two Supermen. But DC's more, creativity over continuity, basically.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I can't wait to read it though. It seems like it's gonna be like an annual, basically.
It's really cool, and there's a lot of cool like art in there. I know the one picture you tweeted out, you said this is my favorite Superman picture. It's in there. So
that artist, I have him on Twitter. I gotta shout him out. So good. Yeah.
And actually, we're gonna talk about artists a little later when we get to Grabs' contribution of the week.
He's gonna grabs our attention with another question.
There it is. There's them puns. I had a little comic book reading myself this week. I caught up on Darth Vader.
14.
So
good.
So good. Love it, guys. You got to get into that. We're not going to spoil any of it. But I will say this. As we're talking about comics and collecting, I want to tease a little bit of something. I'm going to call this the crossover event of the century. And we're thinking about doing a little bit of a crossover with one of our friends, one of our group of friends from the Commonwealth. We're going to be talking about, comics, collecting.
Nice.
Kind of just having a free discussion about everything we do in the world of nerds. So the boys over in Quebec.
Oh, shoot.
We'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, I see you guys. All right.
We're going to put that out there as a tease. So make sure to go check out our boys over there at Tumbling Saber.
Nice.
And we'll see what happens here in a few weeks.
Cool.
Awesome.
Wow, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Cool.
Going quickly right back to Vader, two little things. We were both wrong, clearly.
Yes, we were.
Who the Jedi was that we talked about last episode or two episodes.
We don't got to spoil it, though.
Yeah, but no, I won't give it away. But the other cool thing is there's a flashback in that book, which is really cool because that's actually from the Clone Wars. Like, it's like 3 episodes. Which, Sunjay, man, get on this book.
Yes. I know, I got it, but I just picked up Action Comics and
put it down and pick up Vader
right now. You just reminded me of something. Actually, we spoke about Clone Wars there. For some reason, I showed my daughter Rebels not too long ago. She really liked Hera, but it kind of fizzled a little. And then the other day, she turns to me and goes, "Daddy, I like Star Wars now."
Boom.
Oh.
And swear, man, it was just like one night she put on I had bought her Star Wars pajamas, put on Star Wars pajamas, and says, "I want to watch Star Wars."
Nice.
And so I sat her down.
You did it, man.
And we watched Clone Wars. And then the next day, my wife sends me a picture. Look what your daughter wants to watch in the morning. She's watching Clone Wars. So every night we've been sitting down watching an episode of the Clone Wars.
What do you think?
Oh, I really like it.
Dope, right? It's so good.
And the fact that she's there and she calls us Star Wars buddies now. And I'm like,
oh, nice.
So I don't know what it was because she was down in here in the nerd room. And I said, look, I did kind of the Mufasa thing. I said, everything that light touches will be yours someday. And she was like, I'm going to open everything. And I was like, pump the brakes. But no, she got super into Star Wars just like overnight. And now she wants to, the other night, she's like, let's go in the back and play lightsabers. And I was like,
oh, man.
Yes. it's finally happened.
That's the power of Dave Filoni, man. Like,
I know.
That's so good. I'm happy for you guys.
Those avenues in, right?
Yes.
Did you use conditioning where like every time she looked at Star Wars, you gave her like a chocolate or like a milkshake or ice cream?
I don't know.
And like eventually she became, she's like, oh man, like she associated the two with like, and that's how it started.
I think it's the toys.
Yeah.
I think it was me promising her everything, and she was just like, Sweet.
What if she's like, if we can cut out the middleman, I can just open them now and play with them, Dad. Like,
I'm just worried that like she knows that she's not supposed to open anything. Like she can come and look and all that, and she's been really good about it. She's quite protective of the room.
Yeah.
Like if my mother-in-law tries to come in, she'd be no, this is Daddy and I's room. It's quite cute.
That's awesome.
But I'm worried that someday I'm gonna come down here and she's gonna have pulled open a bunch of stuff.
Thrawn's just gonna be missing.
Oh, or like the Jabba's gonna be out of the box and be no. It's been an absolutely fantastic week in Nerd, and it's only gonna get better. Like I said, 2 sleeps here, but we got to get through a podcast first before we get to Avengers Infinity War. Now, we're going to jump into the news, and we're going to follow that up with a question from Grabs. But 2 big trailers dropped this past week. As you were down in Disneyland, we got the Jurassic World 2 trailer. Now, we're going to go into any sort of depth on this, but Sunjay, I got to hear your thoughts on this. When we talked about this movie last, and I'm a huge fan of the franchise, it felt a lot like Lost World.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of that off this trailer?
Oh, yeah. Even more so, I think. Yeah. It's a movie that, I'm super excited for. I'm going to be super jacked. I'm going to see it opening weekend. But the trailers are a little bit like the tonality of the trailers of the first trailer where it looks like this cool adventure island movie. And then the second trailer where they're trying to save dinosaurs from like a mansion auction or something. I was like, it looks cool, but did they show too much? The 2 trailers, do they not mesh in terms of tonality? But I don't know. Like it's dinosaurs. It's an island. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna see it. So
yeah. And I'm gonna say spoilers here for not watching the last trailer, but it has a similar premise to the Lost World.
Very similar.
About them going to save the dinosaurs or being tricked. It's kind of a bit of Lost World and Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's tricked to go to the island, and then they're taking the dinosaurs off the island, and they want to sell them or do something with them. Military, I don't know if they're going down that path. And then they get loose. They're in America somewhere. And Jeff Goldblum has this very ominous Welcome to Jurassic World, which I really like. Oh, but it was only because I've always had this idea from that Gareth Edwards movie Monsters that they're going to have to quarantine off a part of the States, and we're going to essentially have a Jurassic World, which is where I hope they go. And I hope Jurassic World 3, which I think has already been more or less confirmed. Colin Trevorrow's directing that one.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming back?
Yeah.
And who's doing this one right now?
I don't know. Trevorrow wrote it, I believe.
He was meant to direct in the first place, right?
Yeah, but I think he got all messed up with
Star
Episode
Wars,
9 and booted off that. And so he's had a bit of more presence there. But yeah, it feels familiar. And the original or Jurassic World felt familiar as well, which isn't a bad thing. All you have to do is take those beats, those tones that we're used to, and do something a little different that isn't too crazy. I'm a bit worried because there's always been this thread and this idea about turning the dinosaurs into weapons or militarizing them.
Yeah.
And this is something from years and years ago. And they seem to be leaning on that a little bit more than I'd like, at least from this trailer. It may never come really to fruition. It may just be this kind of underlying idea that never really develops too much. But I want them to stay a little bit away from that. And I would say keep the integrity of the franchise by letting the dinosaurs just do their thing, run around and eat people. Like, they don't have to have guns on them.
Yeah.
They don't need to be overly trained.
Yeah, like Blue, like learning commands and stuff. That's kind of like, I can do without that.
But
is the original cast coming back? Not the original, but the cast from the last one.
Pratt's back, and
the kids too.
Bryce Dallas Howard. No, the kids aren't there. There's a new set of kids.
Okay.
There's always kids. There's always gonna be kids.
And what's like the rank? Like the all-time rank is, like Empire for Star Wars is normally ranked number 1.
Yeah.
What's number 1 for Jurassic Park?
Definitely Jurassic Park.
The first one.
The first one, right?
The first one by like a
Lost
mile.
World?
Yeah. The Lost World, I liked it. Again, it came out kind of in my youth, that wheelhouse for me.
Yeah.
It came out in 97, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I always liked the premise of it. The ending, they end up in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
The whole zoo thing and all that.
They're trying to go to Comic-Con, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, actually?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's like, whoa.
You got a T-Rex
That's meta.
running around. So yeah. It's kind of a cool step where you've taken the dinosaurs off the island, you put them into the real world, and that seems like where they're going here, just on a much grander scale.
Yeah, I would say Jurassic World's my second favorite. Definitely number 1 is by far.
1. Okay.
Like number 1 is like one of probably the top 10 greatest movies ever made. It's like
definitely.
It's perfect.
It's one of my favorite. It directed me into my career. It's had a huge impact on my life. But I have to go with you on Jurassic World because it did something the first one didn't do, and it had a functioning park.
I love
with all
that.
kinds of
Yeah.
people.
I thought I liked that idea a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of that they took that extra step. It wasn't a park and test or anything like that. So that felt like they were doing something a little more. And again, if they're going down a similar Lost World route, I want them to do something again a little more. So escalate everything, which it looks like there are multiple dinosaurs in America running around terrorizing people. I'm game. I'm going to watch this first opening weekend or first day, whatever you want to call it.
You gonna dress up like
opening
a
day.
dinosaur?
I don't know, but I have this in my box office pool.
Oh yeah,
so
you need this one.
Yeah.
I need this because I'm getting crushed.
Well, I just saw online they're doing like predictions and stuff, and apparently like Incredibles 2 is supposed to make more than Solo. So like Solo's like
I got that one.
dropped.
Yeah, that's
in,
yours, eh? Oh, shoot.
I was like, man, so like I passed on Black Panther and Jurassic World
no.
and Incredibles. Like this could have been like the biggest number one
Yeah, those are my
failure.
back-to-back.
Yeah, this is historic levels of bad if Solo doesn't perform.
It's gonna do just fine. No worries on Solo. But a film that I am a little worried about. We got a new Venom trailer. Now, CinemaCon was this past week, right?
It's still going on. It's
Still going
today. Well, if you're listening,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. If you're listening to this on Thursday,
it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, they was a leaked image of, or at least short clip of the Venom suit coming around Tom Holland. Tom Hardy. I did this exact thing last time. Tom Hardy. And it was a bit fuzzy, but it was intriguing enough. And now we got the full trailer release. What did you guys think of Tom Hardy playing the Eddie Brock,
reporter.
as the reporter?
Yeah.
And the look of the suit, what you saw in the trailer, like what are your high level thoughts on this film so far?
I'll let Troy go first.
All right. Well, there's some good and there's some bad for sure. One, going with bad. Why would you release this right now before Infinity
Yeah.
War? I don't know what you're thinking. That's crazy.
I think it's gonna play in the theaters with Infinity War.
Yeah.
The trailer, okay, yeah.
So like you're gonna get like a huge audience going to see it this weekend. So you just exposed 25-30 million people.
That's true.
To this movie.
And it does say associated with Marvel at the
Right?
beginning.
That's
the first time it
first
said
time it's
that.
ever done that.
In association.
So I
with-
wonder, like, is this really going to be loosely attached to the MCU?
I'm
Because there's been
thinking, yeah.
whispers Tom Holland's going to be in here. We don't.
But they usually just showed the Marvel symbol.
Exactly,
Not the associated with.
That's why I wonder
or
if it's going to be
association,
connected, right? The CG is another thing where I'm like, why did you put this out yet? Because the CG doesn't look ready. Like there's scenes where like the symbiote, and it's symbiote, not symbiote. What was the
Symbiote?
Yeah, she
what
said,
the
like,
heck
3
was
times,
that?
Like, just say
Yeah.
symbiote. That drove me nuts. But there's moments where he's like using the suit and the suit's doing its own thing. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it looks very unfinished. There's a scene where he's jumping and the symbiote goes after like the ground or whatever the case is. And again, it doesn't look very polished. I really like what Tom Hardy's doing with the character Eddie Brock. I like the voice, like the Mike Tyson kind of sound that he has going on. I think Tom Holland looks really good in this movie,
Tom
actually.
Hardy. You just
Did
did
I
it.
say that? I said like 30 times, didn't I? Tom Hardy. Terrible. So, love what Tom Hardy's doing in this role as Eddie Brock. It's so cool. The Venom, I don't know if it's necessarily the CGI or the direction they're going with the look. It looks a little bit like the Sam Raimi, which is kind of weird. Not necessarily like the mass of the costume, but just like the style of it. I wish the eyes were just full on Todd McFarlane. I wish they were more like that kind of look for the Venom costume. I like the Venom voice too, the symbiote voice.
That was great, yeah.
I love how
Symbiote.
I've never heard anyone call it symbiote.
Never
Like,
heard
why
that
would they
before.
do that in the movie?
And she said it like 3 times.
You think the director would be like, whoa,
It's like, what'd
stop
you say?
there.
Get off the set, right?
Yeah.
It's terrible. But I like the we can do it. Like,
Yeah.
I love
That
that
aspect,
going
I like
on.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I'm just like, well, like, I know even if, say, Spider-Man was in it, you couldn't really show Spider-Man yet. But it's just, it feels like it's missing, like, that true symbiote origin story of being on Spidey Peter Parker first before going to Eddie Brock. So it's, I don't know. There's some good, but there is some bad.
It explicitly calls him an anti-hero in the text, right?
Yeah.
So it's clarifying here this is somewhere between, Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What are your thoughts, Sunjay?
I'm a little bit more positive on this. I actually really like this, and not just because I have it in the box office prediction. I think it was cool. As you said, the CGI is not finished, but a lot of times in trailers, it's not. Like, I remember in Civil War when Cap jumped through a window and, like, one pane of glass broke. And I was like, okay, the CGI is not finished. But, like, it was cool. I like where they're going. I still don't know who the villain is. Like, who is he going to be battling up against? Is it going to be another symbiote?
Is it that actor that played Bodhi?
I think I want to say, what's his name? I can't remember, but it is
bald,
him.
bad scientist guy.
Well, this guy had a good set of hair on him.
Yeah. I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
It seems like someone just messing around
Yeah.
Kind of like a Norman Osborn like kind of scientist.
I don't know if he's even in the Spider-Man comics. I assume not.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Something Drake, I think his name was. I've never heard of this guy though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that. I like how he's like on the motorcycle. I think there'll be some cool action set pieces there. I think this might put to bed the rumor that he wouldn't actually turn to Venom until the very end.
Yes.
I think he'll be Venom for quite a bit of the movie, so that's pretty cool.
it.
Yeah. A
Thank
lot of
God.
people online were saying like this reminded them of like a 90s superhero film.
A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't get that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because there were some good superhero films in the 90s, Batman and Robin notwithstanding. There's a couple.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Batman '89 was good. Like those Batman films are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the time, right?
For the time,
Like
yeah.
going back now.
I don't know. I still enjoy them quite a bit.
Yeah, they got a little bit of nostalgia attached to them.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, that comments about it feeling a lot like a '90s film or a '90s comic book film is right. Like there's something again with the CGI. I'm right there with you, Troy. Is I feel like the scene where he's shaking and it's coming up over it.
Yeah, to his eyes.
They
and all
should have done like that. I love the Jekyll Hyde thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's talking to it. I've never read a lot of Venom. Is that something from the comic books?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But Eddie Brock embraces it more so than denies it. Yeah.
What I think
okay.
that's probably from the early part of the movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like later on when it comes up over his head, he says, "We are Venom."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's embraced it at that point.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, and I like that direction. But I felt this trailer should have been a bit more about okay, let's see Tom Hardy. And then just a little bit of the suit, the coming up over his face, and then show that thing at the end. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It looks a bit goofy. I don't know what it is, but when I saw it, I don't know if it's because I'm still seeing it through the lens of that crappy taped version from CinemaCon.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
But it's just not there for me yet, and I think Tom Hardy's gonna do or play a good character in here. The thing that I didn't love is it when it comes out of his chest.
That's what I'm saying. It looks
And
weird.
Yeah.
It looks funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because it's incomplete or like how's it coming out of him and not breaking it. This is semantics, but his clothes and all that. Like, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
And they should have been maybe a bit more subtle about it because they kind of went full on. They went from a trailer they showed nothing, which we all thought was great because they held back. They didn't run into something and get this type of criticism. Now, I'm not saying they're doing that now, but this movie doesn't come out until October.
Exactly.
It's got a long time to develop the CGI, get a really good trailer out there, get people on board with this. And I felt this was a step a little far. Not as far as what they're telling us in the story, because they don't really tell us a ton.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They introduce us Tom Hardy. We get a little bit of insight. If they had that arguing, that would have been really cool. And that suit at the end, or just a clip of it, and the coming out the face, that would have been more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little much.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see this, to see what they do with this, to see how they're trying to again spin this genre on its head a little, do something a bit darker, do something a little different. I'm disappointed we're not probably going to see this embedded in the MCU because I think Venom would have been really cool. But at the same time, if we're going to get these type of movies, let's get them, but just do them right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sony is the last kind of stand of non-Marvel films.
Yeah.
Fox is gone, Spider-Man's gone. So literally, like, the host of characters or the catalog of characters not in the MCU but are part of Marvel is shrinking. Like, there's not a lot that Sony can play with. They got Venom. I think they got the rest of the Spidey villains.
Yeah, but you got that universe.
They have that universe. That's why I think, I don't know, they might he might be in the MCU.
You think
might
that
just do it.
You think Sony's just like, you know what, screw it. You can have like everything, but we get paid. We get paid. You guys we attach your name to it.
Yeah, I think they're going to treat it like the Netflix universe. It's like it's there, but you're never really going to see like Venom and Cap go toe to toe, but they'll both know the same experiences that happened in New York.
It would probably add like $30 million at least to the box office.
Probably.
And a lot of confusion because remember that interview with Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige?
Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, everything's in." He's like,
His face was there's like memes for days.
"No, you're
Because
wrong."
that whole associated with Marvel really, I don't know,
That threw
that's
me.
something. Yeah, that threw me there.
Yeah.
Because we've never seen that before.
Or
I know.
is that Marvel pushing back and saying this isn't a Marvel film, this is in association with us? Because that stuck out to me too. Those white letters
That's
at the
true.
top.
Well, they know done with Deadpool though, right? The Deadpool trailer just came out.
Yeah, but it just has the Marvel thing flash up. It doesn't say in association with.
Right,
Oh, okay.
right.
It just says it goes like whatever the Fox logo or whatever, and then it goes flips to the Marvel symbol or title card from like years ago.
Oh,
it's not the most updated one. It just goes.
Yeah,
Like the comics?
I just don't know about this one. It's really tricky. We'll just have to wait and see. Because, I mean, you throw Spider-Man in this film, it's going to make some bank.
But he doesn't feel like he fits to me.
Yeah, as of right now, off of this trailer that we've seen, it just wouldn't make sense. I mean, if you saw, like, Peter on a field trip for some reason doing something, he's not even in the costume.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's just right now, like, the look of this character doesn't really seem like an MCU.
What if it was Andrew Garfield?
Oh, I'd be down. I like that.
Yeah, like what if he made an appearance? This seems like it fits in that Spider universe.
That would blow my mind, but that'd be like a lot of confusion.
Oh yeah.
You could have like parallel stuff.
How could you have Venom that isn't created by Norman Osborn too? Because that was the whole thing.
I don't think
Being facetious. Now, speaking about our dude Spider-Man. Now, this is the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man. Feige's been out on the trail promoting Avengers Infinity War, and he was asked about Spider-Man Homecoming 2, whatever it's going to be called. It was funny because on Kimmel last night, Tom Holland referred to it the first Spider-Man, and then he corrected himself and he says, "Oh, I guess I haven't done more than one Spider-Man. Oops." So he's kind of referencing the fact that they're ramping up to do another Spider-Man. And Feige did confirm that they are doing filming in London, and it's going to be more of a global story rather than a New York-centric story. We're still going to see New York, and it's going to be the fallout from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4.
Cool.
So that's coming out in July 2019. So that's a couple months after Avengers 4. So the culmination of really everything.
Crazy.
It's going to be the first movie out of the gates. So it looks like they're doing something a little different with Spider-Man. As the Spider-Man or the Nerd Room's expert on Spider-Man, how do you feel about them expanding beyond kind of this comfort zone of New York and doing Spider-Man on a global scale?
If this was any other studio doing this, I'd be a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Just because of the age of Peter Parker. You know, they recently, going back to Dan Slott's run, Spider-Man is head of Parker Particles, which is like, he's basically like Tony Stark. He's a billionaire. That makes sense for him being that age to be going into China and all over the place because that's what he did in that run. But being like a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, I was kind of like, But if they're doing some field trip stuff, you know, last time we saw him go to Washington in the last film, Homecoming, so I get it. I remember in the article too, I think he did say like we'll still see him primarily in New York, but we'll see him in London as well. So I'm just interested to see what is going to draw him there, basically.
Yeah, and Feige specifically said there's a reason he's there.
Exactly.
So it's very much in the vein of the airport scene in Germany. There's a reason he was in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Specifically for that. So it seems like they'll have a thread that leads him there. Now, I don't know what villain they're thinking, if it's a Kraven or something to that effect.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I think Kraven was from Russia, but still, I get what you're saying. Like, if there's just some kind of cool character over there.
There's a reason he's out doing some investigating or something
amazing,
like that.
That'd be sweet.
The world as we know it in the MCU is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
So we don't know where that's going to land Tom Holland's Spider-Man at the end of the day. But we'll see. I got some speculating to do in a few minutes here.
Yes.
Well, I guess we know he doesn't die now.
Well,
I think we all knew.
Doesn't die forever.
Oh, okay.
That's we're going to talk predictions.
We're going to get there.
Nice.
We're gonna get there.
Okay, very nice.
Sanjay, what do you think about Spider-Man going global?
Yeah, Spidey tour.
Let's do it. You know, we've seen Spider-Man in New York for 6 movies now. I mean, we've had the Tobey Maguire, 3 of them. And then we had the Andrew Garfield 2, and then we had Homecoming. So let's take out Spider-Man. You know, let's stretch the legs of Spider-Man. Let's take him around the globe. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Why not? Let's just do everything. You know,
All
let's
right.
have a Spider-Man in every continent. So he's going to Europe. Let's have Spider-Man in Australia.
Yuri Spider.
Yuri Spider.
There is Captain Britain Spider-Man from the Spideyverse, which is
really
cool.
Captain Britain was like an actual hero, right?
He was. His costume was very similar.
Yeah, I guess he was written by Alan Moore.
Yeah.
He's the only Marvel character to be written by Alan Moore, so
crazy.
Maybe Captain Britain. You know, we had that question. Who's going to not have a movie made? Maybe there'll be a Captain Britain movie.
Yeah, well, shout out to Stu because we answered that question last week about what character do you think does not have a huge chance of getting the MCU. He threw out She-Hulk. I threw out Nova, and then Feige answers when he's on press tour here that Nova is going to be in the MCU within the near future. And I was like, this is literally like 4 days after I said, nah, he ain't
confirms
gonna
he listens to us then.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Nice.
Yeah, putting that to bed. Speaking about listener question here, guys, we're going to jump into Grabs' question of the week. And then right after that, we're going into our Avengers Infinity War prelude.
Cool.
So this week, Grabs sends in Visually Vain is the title. Hello, Tim, Troy, and Sanjay. Finally, we're all here back to answer a Grabs question. I never thought art could hinder a great story. Mainly, this was because I only read novels. Now that comics are in my mix, you're welcome. I understand just how valuable good art is to these stories. Try not to be negative, but the way one character was drawn in a comic really made me dislike the character, even though the actions of that character were not unappealing. The question, or my question for you this week is, are there characters in the comics that you are drawn to because of the way they're drawn? Or that you dislike because of the art? Are there story arcs with bad art that you love because the story is just that good? Lastly, I'd like to know, what superhero love interests do you find the most appealing and the least appealing, and why?
Wow.
All right, guys.
That's a little question.
Perhaps.
All right.
Holding it down.
So I'll start us off, if that's all right, with the round table.
Please
Yeah,
do.
give her.
We're like the Knights of King Arthur. One hero that I've particularly been drawn to because of how they were drawn is definitely Batman and Superman. You know, when they're drawn in that iconic pose by Ross. Alex Ross.
Yes.
Oh, of
Alex
course.
Ross
Yeah.
draws them so iconically.
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom
kind of
Come,
styles.
yeah, exactly. So you see Batman, Superman, you know, that's partly drawn to them because of that. I haven't actually had any bad art that I've noticed that's so bad that affected the story for me. The thing that I don't like is when you're reading a trade or like a 6-issue miniseries or 6-issue run, and then they change artists halfway through, or they change artists even in the book, and it's drawn by two different people, and then it's such a jarring contrast of styles that it takes me out of the story.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care whatever the artist's art style is, just keep it consistent throughout. And, you know, so you have a 6-issue run, and then you have, okay, Jim Lee drew all these 6 issues. He has a very unique style, very great style, and then boom. But I hate is like, okay, Jim Lee did 4 issues, and then the 5th issue was drawn by someone else, and then back to Jim Lee. I'm like, why would they do that?
It's nuts.
Yeah, I hate that. That's the thing that drives me crazy. In terms of love romances or love stories,
Yeah, so what superhero love interests do you find the most appealing?
you know, Lois and Clark. They made a whole show about that, and they've never made a whole show about any other superhero romance that I've known of.
This is very true.
Batman and Selena Kyle's another good
Especially
one.
lately.
Right?
Oh, man.
And I'm going to throw one out, Aquaman and Mira. I think after they see the Aquaman movie and what they've done with the New 52 run, that's going to be the new It romance, and prepare to see a lot of cosplaying of Aquaman and Mira in conventions going forward.
My man.
Ones that I don't like, I don't know. Love is all around us, so I can't think of any love story that I was just like, oh, that's dumb. Maybe some will come to me. Nothing that I can think of right now.
Okay, well, Troy, well, Sunjay's thinking here. Why don't you take a stab at Grab's question? Art.
So for art, man, where do I begin? I got to go with the God of Thunder, Thor.
It's a Jason Aaron.
Jason Aaron run, but the artist is Asad Ribic, I believe. I love what this guy does on the panel, man. I've never really been a big Thor guy until that run. It's so cool. I think it changes after Volume 2 to a different artist, but I love that. Thanos Rising. Never really knew much about Thanos until I read the Thanos Rising, which is like a 6-part origin story of Thanos becoming the Mad Titan. I love the art behind that one. Of course, I go back to the JMS run of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man with your boy, John Romita Jr. I love it.
Favorite artist.
I love what he does. You know, it doesn't work for every character, but when he does the Fantastic Four, when he's done Spider-Man, when he did All-Star Batman for the first early run.
Yes, that's right.
It was so cool and gruesome.
He did
cool.
Superman as well?
Superman. That's when I got on Superman in the New 52. Tim hates this run of Captain America, but I love what he does with Captain America. Captain America's rugged. He has like the long hair, don't care. He has the rips in his armor. He has the shield. He has like a gun at some point, at least in the covers. So yeah, I love the art behind that one. And of course, always Giuseppe. I love what Giuseppe does, right? From Superior Spider-Man to Amazing Spider-Man, and obviously currently right now with Darth Vader and Charles Soule. So
nice.
That's why I go for art. For romances, I've always been a Peter Parker, Mary Jane guy. Never cared much for Gwen Stacy. So
Whoa.
yeah, I never.
You're
cared.
not a Stacy fan.
No,
eh?
you know what? Spectacular Spider-Man the cartoon. I love his relationship with her there, and I really did like Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
Oh, they were good.
They were great.
That was the best part of those films.
Best parts,
Yeah.
yeah. One of the best on-screen deaths too in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's right.
So I love them. I've always been since New 52, and I know a lot of people will hate me for this, but I loved Superman and Wonder Woman together. I think that makes so much sense to me to have those two together. So that's always good. Other love interests, who did I have? Yeah, I don't know. I guess worst romance, it's not the comics, but it's the movies. It's gonna be Jane Foster and Thor.
Yeah.
It just wasn't working for me at all.
I just thought of a worst romance for mine.
Yeah.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
Oh,
That was so weird.
From the Ultimates?
From the Ultimate Universe where brother and sister got it on. I mean, that's up there for worst for me.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it's
that
a
is,
bit
and
strange.
Wolverine just watching in the bushes. Like,
Real weird. Yeah. We're going to slide off that orchard. That's my answer for this question. Now, art is a big thing for me. It turns me off. It turns me on. 100% of the comic books. Sanjay, hold that joke.
why'd you look at me? You know, I'm all about the highbrow humor.
Yes, you are. But yeah, I found there's the Guardians run when it first came out by Brian Michael Bendis. Like, don't know the artist, and I'm not going to call anyone out here, but they had a real issue with art changing throughout the comic run, like almost issue to issue. And sometimes you get something that was reasonable. Other times you get something that was done very much in neon and dark colors. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying different things, but I love the consistency, as you mentioned, Sunjay, as you go through an arc, that you just have the characters, you can see them, because the way that people draw, even Peter Parker, Steve Rogers with the mask on, it's hard to tell who they are.
Yeah.
Because they're never consistently drawn.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you put Steve Rogers in a lineup, you can't really pick him out.
Yeah. Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, like
they
they
look so
exactly.
similar.
When they wear the masks and all that, it's hard to pick them out. And the other thing with inconsistency that I have a hard time with is the younger characters.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Riri Williams and a few others that have been drawn recently. Sometimes you don't know if they're 21 or if they're 12. And like it's weird because sometimes they're put in situations where you're thinking, okay, 3 issues ago, this is wrong. But because they're drawn slightly differently, it's okay. And so that bothers me. So I'm always looking for consistency in art. And yeah, I guess one person I will call out is John Romita. I really struggled with a run of Captain America. I stuck with it because I love the character.
Yeah.
This is the Dimension Z run.
Yes.
This is a couple years ago. But the art killed me. He's very... I don't know the exact word, but he kind of goes overboard with what he's drawing. Yeah, very stylized. Thank you. That's the right word. And I never felt Captain America. Now, he had a beard and hair that he does now almost in Infinity War, but the story was a bit out there, and the art was way out there. And I struggled my way through the run because I love the character, and not even because I love the story. I just wanted to know what was going to happen with Captain America, because there's some cool stuff in there with Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a book there that really, really, I had a hard time with art. And then you look at the Hickman run on Avengers, the art there was fantastic. I can't remember the artist's name, but it was so good. It was consistent.
Yeah, that one is good. Yeah.
It was crisp. Jeez. It had a sweet or little stylization to it that made it feel real. But I think the big thing was it went like 45 issues with very similar art through an event, and it all looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm still a sucker for like Jack Kirby art and all that.
Oh yeah.
Like tossing it back, the Jim Starlin stuff.
Oh yeah.
Really good stuff there.
Always.
And then when we're looking at love interests, I'd have to say I'm not a big reader of any book that has, at least at the core of it, a love interest, like a Clark and Lois, or even Bruce and Selena, Spider-Man and Mary Jane. So I don't really have anything in particular that I want to call out, but one that I will say that I don't find overly appealing, not particularly from the comics, was the Black Widow-Bruce Banner relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I get what they're trying to do about two monsters and all this kind of stuff. It just felt like it was dropped on us. It was like all of a sudden they were kind of in a relationship. And the only reason I bring this up because on a talk show or something, it was brought up and someone was like, hey, Captain America kissed your girl once.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I felt it kind of weird, and they played on it a little bit in Thor Ragnarok, which kind of made it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I've always felt that one, like it was a bit pushed on us. And like we had talked about in our Winter Soldier retrospective episode, is that we felt that them not forcing a relationship with Captain America and Black Widow really benefited the character of Black Widow, allowed her to do her own thing, allowed her to grow as a character, and she wasn't so much this damsel in distress. Where I felt in Age of Ultron, she kind of plays a little bit of that role. Like, she didn't have a ton to do other than be the person that calms down Bruce Banner.
Right.
So that's where I'm gonna go with that one. But yeah, overall, I think comic book art is like Grab said, it plays a significant role in my appeal to a particular run. I even very much do the judging a book by its cover. I know usually the cover art isn't done by the same artist as the interior, but it still draws me to it. If you have a great cover, I'm going to get my hands on that book. And the Vader and all that's been another level.
Yeah. Well, actually, going for 2, because I don't think I even answered it, but the art that has not really satisfied me is the middle grounds of Star Wars. Star Wars has been kind of weird for me.
Oh, that Uncanny Valley type thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know if this is a photograph or if this is...
It's like a photograph with a filter over it. It's that one sketches me out, and Grabs actually can relate to this. Maybe not actually, but he's currently reading The Ultimate Spider-Man with Bendis and Mark Bagley. And I know Mark Bagley is like a legend. I've never been a fan of his art. I really don't like it. I actually liked the story, obviously, of Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's when Sarah Pacelli came in, and she's awesome. And look out for her doing Fantastic Four with Dan Slott. She's killer. She might have even done Invincible Iron Man. I don't know. I know Bendis did the Invincible Iron Man one.
Yeah, Pacelli.
The art's awesome on that one with Riri Williams. It's
good.
It's cool. And speaking of Riri Williams, another thing that turned me off with art was Secret Empire. There's an issue there where they drew Iron Man and Riri talking, and the art was just is horrendous. Like I could barely look at it. The story was great, but the art was bad. So sometimes you just gotta stick through the art to.
Sometimes you gotta stick through it.
Right through. Greg Capullo, man, your boy from that.
Oh
man,
yeah,
honestly,
he's amazing.
He's huge. Him and Scott Snyder.
George Perez as well.
Yeah,
Back in the day, he's
George Perez did that 12-issue run on Avengers. What's it called? Avengers Forever, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
The Titans too.
Yeah. And he's like the nicest guy. Like when he came to the Calgary Comic Expo.
Yeah.
He was chatting with me, and like it was so cool. He took pictures of people's cosplay. He like stopped what he was drawing, and they were leaving, and he's like, "Whoa! Like you guys were sitting beside me. I really like your costumes. You mind if I grab a quick picture with you?" And I thought that was so cool. Like people are here to see him, but he was taking pictures of the cosplay. So George Perez is like a hell of a guy and a hell of an artist.
Well, one last thing I'm going to throw at Tim here. If you had a Captain America book, and it's either going to be John Romita Jr. art, or it's going to be Jim Lee's Captain America art with a huge, massive chest.
Oh,
way back in the day that everybody's seen.
Is that Jim Lee or is that Rob Liefeld?
Well, it was Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
It was Rob Liefeld. You're right.
Like, don't be saying bad stuff about Jim Lee.
Is that when they gave all the stuff to...
Reborn. His Captain America Reborn.
The Image stuff or whatever?
Yeah, he was from Image. Yeah, he's a Deadpool creator. Yeah, it was like... What did they say? It would have been like 80 inches or something like ridiculous.
Yeah, like twice the size of Arnold's.
Or just normal Troy's chest.
Yeah. I'd have to see. It has to be a good story, I think.
Okay.
Because Romita did a bit of the AVX stuff.
Yes, right? Yeah.
And it was fine. It didn't bother me then. It was more this Steve Rogers run. It may have been a combination of the story and the art associated with the story.
Right.
So I never saw him really do a proper Captain America, out fighting Hydra type art.
Yeah. That's true.
So I'll say Romita
cool
on that one, and Romita Jr. I should say.
Cool.
And see where that goes, but we might not ever see that. All right, guys, it's time to get to Avengers Infinity War. Now, like I said, we've been talking and prepping for this film for the better part of a year and a half or so. Actually, pretty much 10 years.
Yeah.
This has been building. And there's a funny comment on Kimmel last night about them taking 10 years to make a film. So we've been doing our retrospective episode. Unfortunately, we've fallen a couple movies behind. So we are going to finish that after Avengers Infinity War. We've got 3 movies. Ant-Man we'll get to as Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out. That's going to be very fitting. We get Guardians, which really doesn't connect that much. And we've already talked Guardians 2.
Yeah.
And then Avengers Age of Ultron. So we promise we will get to those guys, and apologize for not finishing that. But, real life catches up with you sometimes. But we're here to talk about Infinity War, like I said. We're going to do our little prelude that we usually do with the big Marvel, Star Wars, and DC films. Now, again, the big caveat here, we have not seen or been spoiled by anything. So, again, everything is speculation from our end here, because we're going to be going through some predictions. Who's going to die? Is anyone else going to pick up the gauntlet? How is this movie going to end? So if by any chance we get some of it right, please don't come back and say you guys spoiled the film for me, because it's pure guessing at this point. But I have to ask, I mentioned at the top here, did you guys watch any of the red carpet premiere that was live on Twitter last night?
I saw images, but I didn't keep up with the actual live stream.
Yeah, I had it on the background and on mute. I was working on some stuff, and I just put it on my phone, just watch it. And I clicked every so often when they had an interview with Clark Gregg that plays Agent Coulson, not in the film, but in real life, or not real life, in the fake life that we all think is real, and a few others there. My only disappointment was Evans wasn't there.
Yeah, he's doing like a play or something.
Yeah, he's doing like a Broadway play in New York, and he couldn't leave. So
That's
it was
crazy.
like everyone was lined up. Downey and Pratt and Hemsworth and all these guys walked in, and I was like, it doesn't really affect me.
No,
it shouldn't, but it does.
I feel like Evans is kind of like trying to distance himself, because I think he
got
said,
that feeling a bit too.
If he really wanted to, he could be like, listen, like, Infinity War is coming out this time.
They have understudies on Broadway plays.
Yeah, and he's like,
they're known for that.
And this movie's gonna make like $1 billion. Like, you think they'd be like, okay, like, go promote this, and it would only be good for the play. Like, he's like the #1 movie, and he's like the star of it. So that's kind of weird, but whatever, it happens.
It does happen. And Renner wasn't there either.
Well, is he even in the movie?
Well, we're going to guess.
Oh, yeah. We'll
when we
get
get there.
Yeah.
But first prediction we are going to do for Avengers Infinity War, before we start talking about the heroes and who's going to die and all that, is the box office prediction for this film. We're going to finally put the stakes in the ground. We've been talking about this. We've been watching it escalate for the last 6 months or so, going from always going to do about 150 to 175 to 200 plus to 235
300
to now it's doing between 235 and 255 opening weekend. Now
Ooh-wee.
that will put it as the largest domestic opening of all time, but they're also saying it could make upwards of $500 million globally.
What?
In one weekend.
What?
It's a pretty good weekend.
It's a pretty good weekend. So the top films of all time, or the only films to make more than $200 million at the box office, are as follows. Black Panther with 202 in its opening domestic weekend. The Avengers 207, Jurassic World 208, The Last Jedi 220, and The Force Awakens 247. Do you guys think this film, for the last time, is going to make over $247 million and become the highest grossing domestic opening weekend of all time?
Yes.
Over 247?
Yeah. And then with that, what are your predictions here?
Oh man, you say yes, eh?
I say yes. I don't know, maybe because I'm not as big into Star Wars as I am into Marvel, but I've seen more like build up, more people hyped for this than The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. See, that's what's like making it hard for me to decide here, because I felt like the hype for Force Awakens was...
Oh, the hype
like
of Force Awakens was lit, but I mean, this is like lit squared.
Oh man, this is tough. I'll say over 247.
Because Force Awakens was what, 3 years ago?
2015.
No, shit.
You got to factor in inflation.
I got to factor in Black Panther being in the
more.
film too now, right?
That's right. Yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah, I'll have to go over 247.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. So I agree. I think it's going over 247. But let's put in another thing on the table here. The first reactions dropped. For the film coming out of the premiere. Now, again, I'm not going to spoil anything. I did not read anything. I'm Twitter dark. But the general reaction is positive.
Oh, for sure.
So people are saying it's quite emotional. It's got some big beats. It's got some really surprising moments. It's huge. A lot of great character interaction. The ending's epic, and the end credit scenes are epic. So that's the generic kind of, not criticism, but feedback that we're getting. And the kind of, on the slightly negative end, people are saying that it does feel like the movie that we're expecting. Like, it's huge, it's massive, but there's another movie to come. Right. That's the only slight criticism I've heard online about that. And, that's with any Marvel film, right? This is kind of the world we live in.
Yeah, these are issues now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These are chapters in a bigger story.
Yeah.
So that expectation, I think, should be there, that we know Avengers 4 is done filming. We know it's coming in a year. Yeah. And we know this story probably isn't going to end here.
Yeah.
So to me, that's not an absolute fair criticism. I get the idea that you need to have a full film and all that. But this is a movie that is being pulled together from 18 other movies.
Right.
Yeah. 17 other movies, right? So, yeah, fine. Sure. But generally, the positive initial reaction does drive more people to the theaters.
Yeah.
You saw what it did for Black Panther. You saw what it didn't do for The Last Jedi. With its legs, now it does have the second highest domestic gross of all time.
Yeah.
But what's the number that you're going to put to this, given the relatively positive reaction, given the hype, and given what this film is for the universe? If any film has a chance, I think, to pass The Force Awakens, it's this one.
That's true.
Yeah. Or Avengers 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with $263 million.
Ooh.
Down.
It's
263?
263.
Okay.
I'll go with 255.
Okay.
And that's even bold, but
Tim goes with $1. As close as without going over.
I was going to go, my initial reaction was 253.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So that doesn't really put Troy and I too far apart, but that's my guess.
It's hard, right? Marvel is so hard to guess anything, whether it's like a theory, whether it's a box office, like you just never know.
Well, in Black Panther, we would have
guys.
never guessed that it did 202.
Well, I said it would beat Avengers, but that's neither here nor there. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you get lucky.
But come on, would have anyone ever predicted that?
After the first weekend, yeah, I thought for sure.
No, the opening weekend.
Yeah, the opening weekend.
Not that it would have beat Avengers. That it was going to do over $200 million.
If I knew it was going to do over $200 million, I would have taken it first in the box
Or if
office.
even
I knew.
Yeah. There's no way. I thought it would do maybe 300 if it was well received, but if it was poorly received, it would have done 150 to 170 million. That was kind of the range I was thinking, not 675 million.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's going to hit 700.
I don't think Infinity War is gonna beat Black Panther.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because
The
it
legs.
has Solo, it has Deadpool.
But if you look at the normal box office projection, if this does say 250,
Yeah.
it's next weekend is going to be 170, 150.
Yeah, it drops off quite a bit.
That gets to 400 in 2 weekends.
That's 50%.
Yeah, they'll usually do these huge front end loads.
Yeah.
They've been maintaining pretty good in the second weekend, especially if there's no competition. So even cut it in half, right? 175, 50% drop off. That's normal.
Right.
That's a bigger opening than Civil War.
Yeah.
Right.
Their second weekend for Infinity War. So
Yeah.
this movie could do, in its first 3 weekends, if it has no competition, which it doesn't have, it could do upwards of 500 million domestically, which only puts it a couple weeks behind Black Panther. So it could. I think if any movie has a chance this year to beat Black Panther, it's this one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because I don't think Solo is going to sail to the same heights as this film or Black Panther.
No.
So okay, there it is. We're all saying biggest domestic opening of all time, and all over $250 million domestic.
Yeah.
So those are big. Well, we'll see. We'll see next week who comes out on top there.
Do you picture Kevin Feige having that giant vault from Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales where he just swims in the money?
He just seems like the most modest guy ever.
I think he has his own Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
This guy's just killing it. Yeah.
Just blinks and half of us disappear.
Yeah.
Come back next week and it's half of me.
Yeah.
Tim's gone. It's just Troy and half Sunjay.
Why do I have to go?
Well, I have to pick one of you two.
Well, I know. I've learned a lot this episode. All right, guys. Let's talk about our heroes here. There's upwards of 64 characters, not all heroes, but 64 characters in this film.
Wow.
And I went out and bought digitally, something I don't usually do, but I couldn't get my hands on the single issues, was the Infinity War Prelude comic book. Now, in the last couple of movies that have released, all they've done is basically retold the films in comic book form. So I'd stopped buying them.
Right.
But Infinity War actually tells a new story. You get the back end of Civil War in it.
Nice.
But then it bleeds into other stories. And it kind of gives us an update as to where all the characters are, or most of the characters are, which is pretty cool. So I thought what we'd do to start here is let's just revisit most of the characters, where they're at prior to the events of Infinity War. Now we're going to start with Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, and Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. So from this Prelude book, I guess spoilers, but not really. From this Prelude book, we have the three of them together, and they're acting more or less as the Secret Avengers. So they're doing their thing. They're in Syria, which is very timely, very apt for the current environment we're living in. And it looks like they're moving over to Lebanon. So they're acting as basically undercover agents that are fighting against insurgencies and all that. So very similar to what we expected them to be doing. But the three of them are paired up, which is interesting.
That's cool.
So we expect the Sam Wilson end of it, but not so much the Black Widow. So it's cool that we're going to see the three of them together, and probably at some point in the film, as we've seen from the first couple of trailers, we know that they're acting as kind of a group that eventually do go to Wakanda.
Is her hair white or is it red?
It is white in the comic books.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah,
It's like, they changed her hair color. I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
It looks like Natasha Romanoff, but I don't know. She had the red hair.
There it is. That accent. All right, Tony Stark. Now, he looks like he's going to be one of the pivotal characters in this film. We do know from the trailers, the first two trailers, we haven't seen TV spots, that he does have a chest piece now.
Right.
Now, this Prelude comic book gets us a little bit of insight as to what that is. So I'm going to say spoilers.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with me talking about that?
Absolutely.
So it looks like it could be where the suit comes from. You know how it looks like he has kind of like that extremist...
Yeah.
Where it just kind of forms onto him. It looks like it comes from there because it does have him in this Prelude comic book building it.
Oh, does he give it a name?
No, he kind of holds it up and it projects an image of an Iron Man suit.
Cool.
Which is interesting.
It's just called the Bleeding Edge. Like that sound like the armor anyways.
Yeah.
It looks pretty similar.
So I'm not sure exactly what they're doing there, but he seems to be, at least in the comic book, he is contemplating a bit, calling Steve Rogers. I know he'd come if I called. So he seems to be over the whole Civil War thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that surprises me.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Tony's arc in this. I think it's going to be a really good one.
Yeah,
We got James Rhodey Rhodes. So he's not in this comic book, but last time we saw him, he had issues with his legs.
Yes.
And we know we're getting War Machine in this film. So I'm excited to see Rhodes back at it again. So he looks like he's probably stayed with Stark doing his physiotherapy and all that. Mm-hmm. And Thor, Banner, and Loki. It's three characters that we just saw at the ending of Thor Ragnarok. So we know that they're face-to-face with Thanos' ship.
Yes.
Just above Earth. They're heading there to create the new Asgard, it sounded like. That's similar to the way we got it in the comic books. And those are three characters, again, I'm really looking forward to see. And we kind of know where this goes based off of them facing in the after credit scene Thanos' big ship.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And likely, at least Banner ending back up on Earth.
Right.
Cool.
Exciting stuff. Now, Vision and Wanda, two characters that kind of left Civil War, were a little bit ambiguous with their ending. But in this comic books, it does reveal that they're kind of off gallivanting on their own. There's an implied love arc from the trailers, and this comic book seemingly confirms that. We've got Vision here in his human looking form, and Wanda, they're kind of off in the streets just doing their thing.
Oh,
yeah,
That's romantic. That's nice.
I forgot about that romance. That would have been a good callback going to Grab's question.
Yeah.
I guess a little weird.
A little weird.
Even an android can cry.
I guess it's interesting though to make him human, because as watching it as a film, that's a little more intriguing to see, as opposed to him being like a robot.
Yeah.
With a human, right?
Paul Bettany was probably like, I can't get in that makeup every day.
Yeah.
Just put the thing on my forehead.
Yeah.
Now, Black Panther, we know Wakanda's going to play a big role in this film. Last time we saw him, he had taken him about that throne. He does have the Black Panther juice in him.
Yes.
So he's ready for battle. And his whole crew there, the Wakandan crew. Looks like Shuri.
And Bucky will be over there then, right?
Yeah, Bucky, the White Wolf.
Yeah.
Yes, the Winter Soldier. Yeah. So he's going to be already planted in Wakanda as well. They go into a bit more detail in this Prelude comic book as well with regards to Shuri fixing up Winter Soldier, the White Wolf, and kind of developing the technology they need to take the Hydra stuff out of his brain. They make a weird reference to an AI coming out of this or developing out of this. So I don't know if they're seeding something bigger.
Okay.
Oh, really? And that's Shuri?
That's Shuri, yeah.
Or sorry, Shuri? That's talking about it?
Yeah.
All right. I like where this is going. This will lead into like a little theory that I got going on, but we'll talk about it later.
Cool. Doctor Strange, he doesn't make an appearance in this comic book as well. He is having some interaction with Wong, and at the back end, they basically run through, as we're going to do, kind of where the Infinity Stones are at currently, and then they make a really nice reference to the Soul Stone being this big stone, the one that kind of controls it all.
Okay.
And that's the missing stone that we have. And he and Wong have a conversation. They seem to know about, or at least the previous whereabouts of the Infinity Stones. So they seemed a bit more in tune with the concept of the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Stones, and what it means to bring them all together. So look out for Doctor Strange having a bit more insight in Infinity War to the Infinity Stones themselves. Him also wearing one being the Time Gem.
All right.
Time Stone. Peter Parker, dude, coming out of Spider-Man Homecoming. He refused to wear the Iron Spider suit, wanted to go do Spidey thing. And we had Downey in that proposing in lieu of announcing him as part of the Avengers. But he seemed to be coming off as more of a reserve Avenger.
Yes.
he's kind of in the background there a bit. We do know we get him in this film, and we do know that we get that Iron Spider suit present on our dude Peter Parker.
Yes,
that's right.
And watch out for that hot toy. Damn,
Yes.
have you seen that? It
Yeah.
looks wicked.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No. I'm gonna try and stick to Star Wars for the hot toys, but
Yeah.
damn, it looks good.
Well, just make your own.
Yeah.
Yours look better, anyways.
Yeah, well, we got the one right here behind Tim.
Yeah.
The Marvel
That's
Legends looks pretty
right,
good, man.
yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
get better than that.
No.
Yeah.
All right, last couple here before we get into some predictions. Guardians of the Galaxy, last time we saw them was at Yondu's funeral.
Yes.
Very nice moment. I watched the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 the
So
other day.
good.
It's a good film. Good
It
film.
is.
Yeah.
So we had Mantis with them as well, and they were on the ship, and we did get the after credit scene where we had Teenage Groot.
Yes.
He's going to make his presence felt in this film as well. So we do know that Guardians film happened right after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So in the timeline, it happens quite a bit before these events. So at least 4 years, I think, before these events. If you're going, so there's quite a bit removed where that after credit scene was focused a bit more on the current timeline that we're in.
Right.
All right, and then Nebula, one of the, not really Guardian, but associated with that universe, we did see her taking off solo from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, saying she's going to go pursue Thanos on her own. Mm-hmm. So she factors into this movie somehow, but all we know about her is that she fired off 40 years ago to find Thanos and kill him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So she played a big part in
Nebula
Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah.
Is trying to take down Thanos on her own, yet she can't even beat Gamora.
You never know.
I mean, that sounds like, you think it'd be like if it'd be like someone like in the minor leagues trying to go out and defeat like the New York Yankees or something. Like, that's just ridiculous. She should know better. That Thanos is just gonna swat her like a fly.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because I think they're going to pull on those relationships a bit, because when we talk about the children of Thanos here, it seems like Gamora and Nebula may have been part of the same crew that he has pulled together as lieutenants, if you will.
They've been replaced.
They have been replaced by the Black Order, the children of Thanos, as they're called here. So we've got a few of them. So these are going to be the main kind of lieutenants, villains to Thanos' kind of big head villain. We got Corvus Glaive. He's the one that has a big staff.
Right.
Really cool character. He's kind of like the main man, or Thanos' right-hand man. We've got Proxima Midnight, which is a female character, which looks incredible. The Marvel Legends behind me here looks really good. We've got Ebony Maw. Now, he's an interesting character, very odd-looking face, and he does a lot of manipulation. So watch out for him playing kind of a, we did get a little image of him with Doctor Strange, so that kind of fits.
Doesn't he have a relationship with Proxima? Or is it the other one?
It's Corvus Glaive is a husband of Proxima Midnight.
Right, yeah.
And I think he's a brother of Black Dwarf in the comic book, so the big dude, who is called Cull Obsidian in this book. So the confusing thing about the comic book, so the big dude, he's got kind of impenetrable skin. He's called Black Dwarf in the comic books, and the group was called the Cull Obsidian, but for whatever reason they've called Black Dwarf Cull Obsidian. Very, very, very confusing.
They just ran out of names at the Marvel Comics office.
Yeah,
They're
I think so.
everyone gets the same name.
And the other characters that we are going to see are the Outriders. This is Thanos' kind of cannon fodder. These are these kind of gross-looking four-armed beasts that we see them fighting in Wakanda.
Goros.
They're straight out of that Infinity line as well, that Infinity Run, which the Black Order were also introduced in.
Okay.
So they're pulling on that a lot. And actually with this Prelude comic book, that Infinity War first issue came with that.
Sweet.
So introducing each of those characters as well, Corvus Glaive and the Outriders and that. And then our dude, Mad Thanos Titan.
Yeah.
Or the Mad Titan Thanos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as, I think, Devon or Devon in the comics.
Oh,
that comic,
yes.
they actually give him a name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said
Yeah,
that. Yeah, and I was
Thanos
like, no,
Rising.
get
Yeah.
out. And they're like, yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean.
I think it's Devon.
It's strange, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right, and then lastly here, some of the unknown characters that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we don't know what part they're going to be playing in this film. The big ones are Scott Lang's Ant-Man. This Prelude comic book, it says basically he's left, or he's broken out by Captain America and goes back home to spend time with Cassie and his family. We'll pick up with them in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hawkeye, one of the biggest question marks.
Yeah.
Again, after he was released from the raft by Steve Rogers, he goes home and raises his family.
Cool.
So he's back at home right after Civil War. He doesn't go out with Captain America, part of the Secret Avengers, doing the deeds that him, Sam Wilson, and Natasha Romanoff are doing. He's gone back to raise his family.
He's not allowed to anymore.
No,
His
he's
wife
out.
won't stand for it.
Now, some of the missing characters here are Heimdall, Korg, Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok,
Yeah.
Nick Fury. We haven't seen him since really Age of Ultron. Wasp, Hank Pym. These are characters, again, that we don't know where they're. Agent 13, Captain Marvel, Grandmaster, the Collector. So there's a lot of characters in here that we don't know how they're going to factor into this film, but they are out there. And there's a few groups. There's S.H.I.E.L.D., the Inhumans, and the Defenders. Again, these are more the MCU adjacent groups.
Yeah.
So probably not going to factor too much into this film. But I'm thinking, like, you start adding these characters up. They say there's 64 characters. Some of these characters that I mentioned here that are unknowns, they have to be in the film. Who do you think out of kind of those last unknowns, going from Ant-Man to Hawkeye right down to the Grandmaster Collector, who do you think is going to be in this film?
I'm going to say Captain Marvel.
Yeah?
I think, she's going to have a small cameo in the film. I don't think she'll be a big part, but it's kind of like the Black Panther in Civil War. Introduce him in that and then give him the solo, and, introduce her in this and then give her solo, because it's coming out 2019.
Yeah.
So I'll say her. Say Hawkeye will definitely make an appearance. Yeah, I'll say those two. I'll pick those two.
Do post-credit scenes count?
We'll do post-credit scenes after.
Okay, after. Okay. So, see, I don't think Captain Marvel will be in it then. If we're not including those, then I don't think we'll see her. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see any of them. Maybe. It's gonna be Ant-Man and Wasp. I just on a whim.
Yeah.
I really have.
Oh yeah, I think they'll be in. I think Ant-Man. I don't think Wasp though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe Heimel. Like, it makes sense.
I think Heimdall's going to be in it.
Yeah.
I think Valkyrie's going to be in it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Korg will be in it as well, very briefly.
Yeah.
Very briefly.
Yeah, that make a lot of
Well,
sense.
he'd have to, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the Collector's going to be in it as well, because he was the last one with the Reality Stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
probably actually have anybody, he'd make the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Hawkeye. I'm going to save this one because I think Hawkeye is end credit scene.
Oh.
I think the
doing
Luke Skywalker.
The Ronin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So let's quickly talk before we finish our predictions here about the history of the Infinity Stones in the MCU. Now, you can go back a few episodes and we go into a lot more detail, but I just wanted to refresh everyone as to where they are at currently and where they've made an appearance in the past. So the first big one is the Space Stone. It's blue. It was the Tesseract. It made its first appearance in Thor, and it's a final appearance in Thor Ragnarok. We saw Loki pick it up. So we know that he has it coming into this film. That's his current location. The Mind Stone. This is a yellow stone. It was in Loki's scepter. It was first introduced in the Avengers, and it was last seen in Vision's head in Civil War. So we know that one exists on Earth. Mm-hmm. The Reality Stone, which is the red, it was the Ether. First appeared and only appeared in Thor the Dark World. This is one we've not seen or heard from again since the Collector got it in that post-credit scene. So the assumption is that the Collector does have it at this point in time. The Power Stone, the Purple Stone, the Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Again, that's the first and only appearance of that stone that we've had in the MCU. And currently it's on Xandar with Nova Prime of the Nova Corps. So we're likely to see Glenn Close at least potentially reprising that role when Thanos goes, because we know he's got that stone based off the trailers.
That's right.
And the only outstanding stone is... Oh, sorry, forgot one. The Time Stone. The green stone. It's in the Eye of Agamotto on Doctor Strange's necklace, and the current location is New York in the Sanctum Sanctorum. So we know that there's a Battle of New York at some point. We know they're coming for that Infinity Stone. And the big one that's outstanding is the Soul Stone. This looks to be probably like a white stone, and the only reference I could find to it is in this Prelude comic book, and Wong is talking to Doctor Strange about it, and all there is a picture of the galaxy. Like, so you got like a couple planets drawn on that. So my assumption from that is that it's not on Earth.
Okay.
Or it could be at a planetarium. Or it's just a display.
Very true. Very true. So we had speculated in the past, is it Tony Stark? Is it Heimdall? Is it the heart of, based on the Thanos series, the heart of Wakanda? My assumption from this Prelude comic book is it's not.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. You never know. All right, guys, let's get into the predictions. We kind of wrapped up and kind of give everyone an impression as to where the heroes are, what the villains are about, and where those Infinity Stones are, because that's going to be some of the important information we need coming into this, because the assumption is that you've seen all these movies building into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it. First question I want to ask you guys, what comic book influences do you think this film will have? Where do you think they're going to pull from? What comic books? Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity, Thanos Rising. Like, what are your thoughts here?
The one behind you, Infinity Gauntlet for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
And the Hickman Avengers run.
Yep.
I can't remember what the title was, but when they fight
Infinity.
Thanos, the Infinity. Yeah.
It's Infinity. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say exactly what you just said, and as well. Damn, did I lose it already? Oh, and Rising, Thanos Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So there's that. They announced this book called Titan Consumed.
Okay.
That's like supposed to be Thanos' origin story. That's not canon, but
Yeah.
maybe pull on that a little bit. But I have to agree with you guys. I think the Infinity Gauntlet, particularly the snapping half the universe out of existence, potentially death, and this Infinity Run, just the basis for that Infinity Run in the comic books by Hickman was that Thanos shows up with his lieutenants on Earth when it's not protected, and they end up going all over the place looking for the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And each Infinity Stone is chased by one of his lieutenants, which is the Black Order, which I think they're going to be taking at least that element from. That's a much bigger and grander cosmic story, but the crux of it is probably what at least the MacGuffin chasing and the main kind of villain pair-ups is going to be about. So I agree with you there. Now, will anyone else other than Thanos, well, I guess the first question, will Thanos complete the Infinity Gauntlet with all of 6 stones in this film?
Yes.
You think so?
I'll say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well.
I don't think so. I think they're going to save it for Avengers 4.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or
I think so, 'cause I heard rumors
not.
before that is meant to be kind of complete by the time they get to 4, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to say yes.
I'll keep it no just to be different.
Okay. I'm going to say yes, he's going to complete it. He seemingly has a long way to go.
Yeah.
Based off the gauntlet from
Well, it's 2.5 hours. So.
Yeah, it's a long film.
Yeah.
Now, if the Infinity Gauntlet is complete, do you think anyone else will wear it?
In this movie? What do you think, Sunjay?
I'm going to go no. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to say no. Yeah, no.
I'll say no.
You don't think Black Panther's going to show up?
I wanted to. I just don't think. I'd love for him to do it. I just don't think he'd do it in this film. I think you really got to keep it Thanos and that gauntlet.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to happen in this film. I think it's going to be somewhere else down the line that someone else wear it, but I don't think so here.
So with this gauntlet, you have all 6 stones. You can pretty much control the universe. You're kind of like
snap half the universe out of existence.
Is that the only thing you can do? Because like, what if you're
anything.
like playing a song and you're just like snapping along to it, and then you're like, oh, there goes half the universe. There goes another half. There goes another half.
The thing with the Infinity Stones in the comic books, and I think in the Marvel films, is that their power set is somewhat ambiguous. You know what the Time Stone does, the Power Stone, but when they're all together, it's going to be whatever they want it to be.
Want.
Whatever fits the narrative, whatever fits the arc of Thanos, that's what it's going to do. And so if he wants to kill half the people in the universe, like it happens in Infinity Gauntlet, he's going to do that. If he wants to spin the world backwards and reverse time,
just like Superman and Superman 1.
Now, one of the big questions coming into this film, and one of the predictions that we're going to put on the table here is who, if anyone, is going to die in this film?
Yeah, that's a real whodunit. Who's going to die? A lot of civilians. I can imagine there's going to be a big battle. I'm going to go with Thanos. I don't think he makes it out. I think they're going to kill him. And I think that's it. I think they're going to keep the heroes intact.
Yeah, I'd say Iron Man's going to die. And Nebula's going to die. And Loki's going to die. Loki's going to be the first one to die. I think Loki's going to cut it pretty early in this film.
Yeah.
So that's my 3.
Okay.
I got there, yeah.
It's interesting because I have I have 2 lists here.
Yeah.
I have Dead but Not Dead.
Yeah.
And I have Forever Dead.
Oh, okay.
So
Lay it on us.
My Forever Dead list is Loki, Captain America, and Nebula.
Oh.
So very similar to yours.
Pretty similar, yeah.
And my Dead but Not Dead. So I think they're gonna do half the universe.
Oh.
You think so, eh?
Yeah, I think Dead but Not Dead, meaning that all these characters will come back.
Yeah.
But the deaths I'm predicting.
Yeah.
On the Dead but Not Dead, Spider-Man, Widow, Thor, Sam Wilson, the Guardians, and Vision. The Guardians not including Peter Quill.
Yeah.
And Vision, all dead. And surviving the half the universe snap is going to be Iron Man, Peter Quill, Doctor Strange, Banner, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye.
Wow.
And then how long, when would they bring him back?
Avengers 4.
Oh, really?
So they defeat him in 4 and use the Time Stone to go back?
I'm thinking, okay, so this is my big crazy ass Infinity War theory.
Yeah.
I think they're going to end this on a really weird and dark note.
Okay.
I think it's going to be some sort of sacrifice from Captain America, but they're going to play with this idea of almost killing everyone.
Yeah.
And my prediction, this fits into my prediction for the end credit scene, is that it goes way in the future, Avengers 4. It starts way in the future on this like desolate Earth, but there's this underground Avengers that consists of, Hawkeye, maybe his first appearance in
styles.
like a Ronin style
That'd
type
be so
thing.
cool, yeah.
Iron Man, kind of this underground crew trying to put together this resistance to fight back Thanos or figure out a way to make it better.
Like a
To
Mad
fix it.
Max kind of thing.
Yeah,
That
so
would be so pimpin'.
That's kind of what I'm thinking Avengers 4 is. And it's going to be kind of this half time travel. But one of the consequences of Captain America's death is that he can't come back.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. I think Iron Man is going to be the guy, the futurist that they need to bring into the future. Or not bring to the future. His legacy needs to carry on in this universe until 4. And maybe he's one that goes back.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of my crazy ass theory.
Kind of
So,
like a Days of Future Past or something, where like he goes back and then stops it before Thanos gets here, or
I don't know. I haven't really thought that far, but I just think
I need all the details right now, Tim.
I just think that like it may not happen this way at all. Probably not. But I just think that they're gonna go and do something crazy at the end.
Yeah.
And what's more crazier than saying, well, guess what, guys? Half of our characters are dead.
Yeah.
For 1 year, because you look at the films that follow, Ant-Man and the Wasp and
Spider-Man,
not Spider-Man, Captain Marvel. Both of them happened
yeah.
before Infinity War, so you don't have to deal with anything for a whole year.
Yeah.
Till Avengers 4. It's not like we have a Fallout movie where Tom Holland has to be in as Spider-Man. They can do whatever they want in
unless
Marvel.
he is in Venom.
Oh, that's
because
true.
Ant-Man and the Wasp happens right after Civil War.
Yes.
So it's kind of a weird prequel. So any event that happens in Infinity War, the movies that follow don't have to deal with it.
Interesting.
You don't pick up anything till Avengers 4. So that's why I have this kind of weird theory. And that's my next question. I just kind of gave away how I think the movie's going to end.
Yeah.
How do you guys think the movie's going to end?
Ooh.
I don't know necessarily how it's going to end yet. I guess I'll let Sunjay go, but I have a feeling that Tony Stark will bite it, and they'll pull the whole Secret Empire thing. He'll come back as an AI, which is what him and Shuri or whatever will be kind of working on. Because I feel like you can keep Iron Man as the suit, but you don't necessarily have to have Robert Downey Jr. still in the suit. So he'll always be present, but he'll be like an AI.
Just have him voicing him. Just
Exactly.
like, just call in your lines.
Exactly.
That'd be
We've seen a
pretty
couple
cool.
scenes of them two interacting, which could be anything.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
But they're two of the biggest minds in the MCU, right?
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what the
smart.
AI thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about there. So I was like, yeah, that could maybe.
Cool,
Yeah, man.
cool.
So-
Okay, how do I think it's gonna end? I think they're going to defeat Thanos. And I don't think he's gonna kill half the universe. I think they're gonna stop that threat. And maybe something like maybe the Grandmaster shows up and pulls the heroes and says, I've got this secret war that I need you guys to come. And then, I don't know, maybe the X-Men show up. I don't know. That's...
Well, that's interesting because we've seen in Avengers 4, like, there's these different kind of alternate realities kind of going on, right? Like, we've seen, like, they go back to Avengers. So if it's, like, Battle World, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. In fact, if it does happen, then I'm going to buy a lottery ticket because that was a genius guess. But that's what I hope happens.
Okay, now, what about end credit scenes? Let's say there's 2.
Yeah.
What do you think the end credit scenes are going to be?
One will be pointless. Like, there's always, like, one that just makes you laugh that...
I don't think they're going to be
I don't
pointless.
think they'll
kinda
waste
like,
it. Not this time, no.
Not this time, eh?
It's too much to see.
Yeah. Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel is a
I think
good
so.
bet.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I'd almost guarantee it that she's got to be in one of the after credit scenes.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because I think they really... Like, that's the next one coming out. So I
yeah,
think
but it's not in the timeline.
But I think they'll try, like, promote it, like, maybe, like 5 months earlier or something. And then just have them, like, chilling.
So some of the reaction was that you have to stay to the very end.
Okay.
So apparently it's huge.
I think there could be 2. So I think Captain Marvel for sure, but then going down to 1, which is between 2, could be either Galactus or Silver Surfer. Like, you gotta blow us away with one of, like, the Fox Universe guys being brought to the cosmic. You know what I mean? Like, just I'd jump out of my seat. I would jump out of my seat.
What if? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to shake the table. What if the end credit scene they have Galactus coming, but then they like need Thanos' help to defeat him or something? So they're like, Thanos, like you can join our side and let's just team up and beat him. And then Thanos is like a good guy for Avengers 4.
Oh, so he joins those guys.
He joins them
to
to take down Galactus. The enemy of my enemy is your friend, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if we're going that route. But yeah, I have to agree with you guys. Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
She's going to make an appearance. And I think it's going to be along with Nick Fury.
Okay, yeah.
Look who I found.
Yes.
And
yes, that makes sense.
I think there's going to be like this weird, they're going to like Hawkeye or Luke Skywalker Hawkeye.
Yeah.
They're going to turn, he's going to be there and he's going to be like, you know, here's Captain Marvel Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, take me to the Resistance.
Oh,
and it's going to be like, who's the Resistance? Like
Oh.
something like that. Like
It's like sword or something, whatever, right? I don't know. Oh.
What if they give him his bow and arrow and he chucks it over his shoulder?
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, there it is. What about Skrulls?
Oh, I think we're gonna see this. Oh,
Avengers 4 probably.
I think Avengers 4, or obviously Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
We're gonna see
Marvel.
them there, but seeding them for they're doing a secret invasion arc. They have to be.
What if they reveal someone has been a Skrull?
Mary Hill.
Yes, definitely. We called it way back.
Yeah,
sure.
that's right.
For
or
sure.
Stan Lee.
No, he's a watcher.
He's the Watcher. Yeah,
That's right.
right.
Do you think we could get the? When I was a kid, this was the original Vision, but we could get the Vision in the white suit. So when he gets it stripped out, when he gets the stripped out, and then he goes back to like what was it like? You know what I mean? He's like the white suit Vision that like. That was like the standard Vision back in the day.
No, I don't know that.
You don't know?
No.
I always knew him as that color.
He
not,
loses the color.
Right?
Really?
That'd be kind of dope if he's like the ghost, like a ghost Vision, or whatever, right?
Oh, okay. Like kind of what's that guy named? Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah. He's just all white.
Yeah.
He's just all white.
The android.
Yeah. Like without the stone, he's that. I don't know.
Cool. That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Well,
speculate for days.
There it is, guys.
Yeah.
We don't have to speculate for too many more days.
Yeah.
Because it's coming. And as this episode drops, guys, you'll hopefully be in line, or at least listening to us as you're in line for the film.
Just skip the film and listen to this.
Yeah, and then we'll be coming back to you guys next week.
Oh yeah.
For our Avengers Infinity War review. We've been building into this. We've been excited about this. And I am super stoked about this. And if you listen to this in the morning or whatever, and you want to toss us some ideas, just email us. thenerdrm@gmail.com. You can always grab us on Twitter, except for me for the next 2 days, or when this drops. I'll probably be back on Twitter almost. And you can always hit us up on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure to head over every Sunday and or Monday to check out Sunjay's video talking.
It's kind
of
like
talking on the internet.
Yeah, just join me while I just have a casual conversation with my watchers.
Yes.
How many times are you guys going to see this film in the big screen? Do you have any idea?
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I think definitely opening weekend, and then if I can break away, go again.
Yeah, I got tickets for the Saturday show. Obviously, we're going down on Thursday, and I'm going to check it again on Sunday. So
nice.
I'm going to hit this bad boy 3 times.
You're missing Friday. You got to go and then Monday.
May as well, eh?
Yeah.
Have time to digest what you just saw.
Go Thursday, and then just go right back in.
Just stay there.
Yeah.
Just stay there. Be like, okay, I'm not moving, guys.
And lastly, guys, if you would like to send a bit of your review, a short review for us to discuss on next week's episode, just hit us up at any of those social media outlets or whatever you want to call it, email, anything like that, thenerdroom.net. Just click contacts and tell us what you think of Avengers Infinity War, because we're going to be talking all about it next week. I hope you've enjoyed this speculation, this prelude to Avengers Infinity War, and hopefully it's a little helpful as to bring you up to speed as to where our heroes are at, where the Infinity Stones are at, and what we think is going to happen in this film. Excited, so excited, guys. We've got 2 sleeps here as we record. It's going to be the day of as this episode drops, and I can't wait to get back into the Nerd Room and talk about this next week.
Woo.
But until then, guys, for the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room. This has been a Nerd Room podcast production. You can find our hosts Tim, Troy, and Sunjay on Twitter at TheNerdRM, TroyTheBoy87, and Sunjabby. For more content from the Nerd Room, check out thenerdroom.net. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find more podcasts in the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Skyros Podcast, and San Diego Sabres. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.